Hello again, it's Rachel Palmieri, Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. I've got quite simple cards for you this week, something that you could do yourself by using the stamps that you have in your stash and the DSP that you're longing to use up. And I'm using, here's a card just for the happy birthday sentiment in that one, and mainly I'm using Floral Essence. Now Floral Essence was in the annual catalogue for the year that we're just finishing up at the end of May, and it is returning, as is Here's a Card. So I thought they were good ones to pick. Now you might wonder why these are outlined in purple. Well, the purple has no significance at all. It's just a highlighter pen. And I've found that it's a good idea for me personally if I highlight around images that have a matching punch. Now it will tell you in the catalogue that there's a matching punch for this particular image, but it didn't mention anywhere about this. And this particular leaf punch is retiring, but it perfectly cuts out this image, and it also cuts out plain leaves just to pop behind any flower without stamping or anything, but it just has the sweetest little trio of leaves, and it's very usable. So it's not going to be leaving my stash anytime soon, and I'll keep on using it with the stamp set in the meantime. Alright, well I'll pop this one out of the way, and I will see if I can get started on this particular card. I'll just pop some paper over that. Not that I should be going astray anywhere here. And we'll start. What I just did then was called second generation stamping, where you don't re-ink, but you stamp a second image, and it gives you a way of having two shades of green even if you've only got the one ink pad, because it works with any of the inks really. Now you'll notice I've turned the punch upside down. That way I can check that it's reasonably nicely positioned, and it's just as easy to punch like that upside down. These have a lock on them too, so I need to use two thumbs on mine. I'm not particularly strong, but the same with opening it up. That's a smaller punch, and I don't find it quite as much of a problem as some of the larger ones. Alright, so I have two leaves there. Now, I did cheat, and I used these dies, Stitch So Sweetly, to cut out the largest one, to cut out a panel for my stamping today. I found this a particularly useful set, and it does come with quite a good sentiment stamp as well. It's bundled together in the mini catalogue at the moment, but it will be bundled, I think, in the annual catalogue coming up as well, which is very kind of Stampin' Up, I think. Now, we'll start with the sentiment, which comes from Floral Essence. It says, with friendly thoughts and best wishes today and every day. You know, that would be sufficient quite often. But I thought we could add in happy birthday as well. I've positioned these over to the left to allow the flower and leaves plenty of space on the other side. There's no real rhyme or reason to this. I'm just creating a spray of leaves to go around the back there. Again, I'm just putting in a bit of variety. Now I thought I would change the colour of the flower for this particular one, just for a little bit of interest. And I've picked Flirty Flamingo. The first time I used Melon Mambo, which is part of the Brights range, and Flirty Flamingo is actually, is it from the Subtles or the Brights? I think it might be from the Brights as well. So this really you only need to have two sets of petals for this flower. With the next one you'll see me do 3, but I'm doing that one on vellum, so I just wanted it a little bit fuller. Again, upside down, quite easy. And that's done. When you use the bone folder to curl the petals, it just makes them appear a little bit more realistic, I guess, a little softened. I'll just use a glue dot in between the layers because I don't want it standing up too high. And then if it would stick to the card instead of my thumb, it would be really good. That. And now a dimensional at the back of this flower. Pop it down. And these little flower centres are also on the last chance product clearance. They're little fuzzy buttons, I suppose, with an extra sticky little piece behind. There we are. Now, I think that's already 10 and 14. I have a scored base here already in Pool Party. This is the poppy paper, and this interesting water-stained pattern in something that would be either Pool Party or perhaps the Seaside Spray. No, Balmy Blue, I'm not sure. Try and centre that up a little bit. Now the last time I was having to cover up a little bit of ink that I'd splodged. This time it's a little bit of glue that I splodged. But these embellishments are always very handy to have for disguising oopsies. Three's a good number to use. There we are. Now I did have the inside ready to put in, so I might as well do that as well. Oops, there's some more of that glue at the back. Not so good. I need to be a bit more sparing with the glue perhaps. I think I always go back later and finish off the insides, but I haven't been able to have my classes, and so I sort of feel like I should be doing it as I would instruct the girls to do it at class. And I just think you have a better card when you do finish off the inside. And there we go, that's just a piece of white card, 10 by 14 centimetres, and this is a strip, it'll be 1 centimetre or a little over 1 centimetre, just whatever looks right, and 14 centimetres long. So there we have those. Same, but different. Now we're going to use this one now. I think that I will start first by cleaning my stamp. Now it is clean even though it's still pink. The photopolymer always stains, particularly with red shades. Oops, wrong lid. And I'm going to heat emboss with white embossing powder. Actually, I'll turn that on so it starts to heat. I hope you can still hear what you need to hear. This is quite a thick flower. So the little technique I'm going to do here isn't going to have very much petal to show up in, but even so it gives it a little bit of colour. When I buy ink pads, particularly the ones that are only short term like the In Colours, this is Rococo Rose, which is a current in colour with one more year to run. I buy the re-inkers. Now the re-inkers are handy for not only inking the pad up, but also for doing some of the watercolour painting techniques. Now it doesn't matter that it's all over that white, because I just have to get a tissue and wipe that clean. Also, we're punching it out, so it doesn't actually matter that it's all over the place. I'll see if I can just add a little bit more to one of them. For a little bit more depth of colour. Don't want to waste any of this colour, do we? As I said, there's so much white embossing that it doesn't really allow it to take much colour on board, but anyway, you might see it when I layer up, might see it better then. Alright, we need that punch again. Now the vellum, because it's damp, it's turned up a little bit. I don't even try to use the bone folder to curl these, because they sort of curl on their own. Alright, we need those glue dots again for joining these together, and they'll probably be particularly tricky here because the embossing is quite shiny. You might be able to see that there is quite a nice shade of colour on the vellum now. Now, I've got a fair bit more to do here, haven't I? With this one, I've cut the card to 14.5 by the width of the card and scored it at 10.6. And then this piece it's a touch over 14 centimetres long and 10 centimetres high because I wanted it more to the edge of the card, but it will be like 0.2 extra, I guess. This paper is also in the Last Chance products. It's called Perennial Essence Designer Series paper, and it's beautiful. It's almost like Monet has been the artist involved. Very pretty kind of watercolory paintings. All right. I'm going to use the same sentiment on this strip, the Friendly Thoughts one. Hopefully I'm straight. It's not bad. Now you've got the choice that you could flag the ends. I've got a bit lazy and I tend to do this now. Okay, now I was going to use one of those. I do mostly do the gluing on the leaves because the stem is a bit small. You could use a glue dot as well just to tie that down. And I did an extra, oh that'll do, that one from before. And a dimensional for the flower. Have I forgotten something? Yes, I have. So I won't take the backing off the dimensional yet. That's the last piece of that roll of the dotted tulle ribbon, but I have already ordered another one, so that's carrying over. I like this one too because it is quite a forgiving ribbon. It doesn't ask for special treatment. Ties a bow reasonably well. Has a very casual, summery look about it, I suppose. Glues on much easier than many of the others. Oopsie, I'm a bit far over with that. Never mind. Is that all stuck together? Pretty much. Yeah, so for a comparison, and I better do the inside. Whoopsie. Again, 14 by 10 centimetres. And that's also 14 centimetres long. Maybe we should put happy birthday on the inside. I just wondered if we should stamp a flower on the inside as well. It's a different one. I'll bring back that pad again. That leaf and look for the centre. I think it's that one. Sorry guys, I just reached right across the camera then. There we are. All right. And that's it for this week. I hope you're staying well, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.